Hi, I'm posting another video that is the third part of my series on Halloween. I might add that the focus is only on the 1978 original by John Carpenter. I just wanted to let you guys know that I just wanted to make another video on certain things that I've observed by watching Halloween over the years, and they're solely my interpretations of them. One of the reasons on why I like making these videos or including them as different parts of discussion is because for so long I've had opinions and interpretations on the movie, and I believe there may be fans that would enjoy hearing what I have to say, so I decided to share them. Um, and also they're on topics that we normally don't associate with or really pay much focus on when we're talking about this film. As some may already have known, I made two earlier critique videos on the film. Um, um, I advise anyone who hasn't seen them to check them out on my channel as well. Well, to continue back to my discussion, as I already discussed in my other videos, that John Carpenter has always included subtle homages in his movie. He would include references to Howard Hawks, and there's also another subtle brief interest is on an artist that he also included in his movie, which was halfway through the beginning of the movie. You will notice it's a specific scene where you see a poster of a portrait of an artist that some may be familiar with or maybe have heard of in art studies. I will include a scene from a projection of the film that I did on 16mm after this discussion. It is a scene where Laurie Strode is returning from school. It's hung up in her room. It's a moment where she noticed a man, which is basically what we've known as Michael Myers, standing and watching her from outside her bedroom window. The poster we see in the background is of James Ensor. It was just a reproduction poster of a self-portrait, which that painting was called Flowered Hat, which I included a link to an autobiography of the artist if any people are interested in it. James Ensor was born in 1860, April 13th, and died on November 19th, 1949. He was a European painter that had an important influence on Expressionism and Surrealism of the 19th century and into the early 20th century. Ensor was a painter, printmaker from Belgium. The major theme he used was depictions of bizarre subject matters that included carnivals, parades, masks, puppetry, skeletons, or clowns. He also created a collection of handmade masks that were made out of plastic and various other materials. Much of Ensor's most influential paintings were done during a period of great social and political unrest in Belgium. He expressed much of the calamity of the time through the use of bright colors, he depicted a feeling to his audience that were both grim and comical at the same time. Death was a common theme in his works during much of his well-known pieces of the early 1890s. His style was very bizarre, and he used a lot of fantastical subjects in ways of showing his subjects and figures wearing grotesque masks. He basically had a psychological impact on later artists of the 20th century, such as Paul Klee and others. He created a format in which he could paint with complete freedom. I believe this painter influenced Carpenter or also Deborah Hill in writing, I guess, the script to the movie into Halloween, because they both focused on themes of masks, and they were both the subject of using masks were relevant in both works of theirs. Masks were basically a very important subject, as we know, in Halloween. Carpenter used a lot of point of view shots of in the beginning of the movie. He also included clown outfits, even though it associates with the holiday of Halloween. I also think that maybe this was influenced by Ensor's paintings of clowns and other figures wearing masks. So basically, it was just a subject theme that was common throughout the movie Halloween, and as we know, Michael became iconic, and through his mask, it created a mysterious dark psychological character, which we associate now as the man behind the mask or the shape. So basically, I think Ensor had a major influence on the Halloween script through observation and of how the movie came about. Just another on subject of masks, mask in general has always been a form of has been a form of either a ritual, commonly associated with a visage from protection or disguise, or basically in a performance or used for entertainment. Masks, as we known in past histories or in ancient cultures, both Eastern and Western traditions, they were used for rituals, ceremonies, or festivals. They're also used for religious reasons or as a way or social life in a group or within a community. So it's essentially a visual rather than verbal. We associate masks also sometimes to avoid recognition. It's a disguise the mask asks as a form of protection for the wearer and who wishes to assume a role or task without being identified by others. It is basically to repress or conceal the self or soul. And, that's also seen in the movie Halloween, where Carpenter created Myers as that kind of character who became very dark and mysterious through that behind that mask. Masks are also universally used and maintain their power through mystery, both through the wearers and conveying it to the audience. Today we associate masks in theater or film or TV entertainments or holidays in Western society or around the world today. They're also used to convey comedy or drama or emotions, typically in theater. A mask is an object normally worn on the face, typically for on the on discussion of the Michael Myers mask. There's also information on how during the filming of the movie, during production, they had a dilemma on finding the right mask to portray or to show Myers in the film. They many of the producers wanted a mask that was right, that played the right part for the character. They wanted, I guess, a mask that was blank, emotionless, and in disguising the character as a soulless killer. Production designer Tommy Lee Wallace, in records of how the film was made, recalled that they were looking for a clown mask that was based off Emmett Kelly, Lou Jacobs, or the Red Skeleton character, which is known as that character which was seen as frowning, smiling, or always with that cigar. But I believe after the first couple of shots, when they introduced Myers, they weren't satisfied, so they went for, as we all know, a Captain James Kurt mask. basically a William Shatner's mask. But there's a lot of information saying that basically was a mold taken from the filming of of William Shatner's movie from Devil's Reign in 1975. Basically, on the history of masks, we also see it a lot in other genres of horror villains um, that we see in other films. Um, these characters were always wore masks in their films to conceal their identities and to convey certain mystery in their character. Stanley Kubrick also comes to mind. He used a lot of that to identify certain scenes and in his films. One is The Killing, and also the Eyes Wide Shut film. So these videos and also this discussion for this certain part of my discussion on Halloween is what I really want to share was to focus on the subtle themes that are quite interesting and that other fans I believe should explore and find other sources and to understand how certain other forms of art may have helped or really was an influence in how Halloween came about creatively. I guess people, fans of the movie, should go into more research and also check out the James Ensor artist and look at his works to get a larger perspective on how Halloween was created, and just to have other references and to get a bigger scope. I will be including other parts in other discussion opinions in my series in the coming weeks. So make sure to come back to my channel often just to see if I updated any new videos. I will be adding 2 more parts on my focus on Halloween, and then after that I will be moving on to other 16mm films and discussions. And so please subscribe and let me know what you think. If you have any other things you'd like to add or opinions on your view on Halloween. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.